This is the way of tying bandage over the leg.
Hello dear learners, this is Dr. Vibhuti Gaur, Associate Professor, Department of English, IGNOU, Coordinator of BEGLA 136, English at the Workplace. This is an introductory session for this particular course. This particular course has been designed for students across different disciplines in order to develop their English skills required at the workplace. We have primarily concentrated on first-time job seekers since most of you will be searching for your first jobs. The skills that the first-time job seekers would require have been clearly spelled out in this particular course. This particular course is divided into 4 blocks, which are as follows. Block 1, exploring the job market. Block 2, preparing for job interviews. Block 3, skills for the workplace, part 1. And Block 4, skills for the workplace, part 2. Block 1, exploring the job market, equips you with basic skills required to explore the job market, such as profiling oneself for the job, searching for the job, responding to different kinds of job advertisements, and preparing for the job. The units have been titled accordingly as Unit 1, profiling oneself for the job, Unit 2, searching for the job, Unit 3, responding to different kinds of job advertisements, and Unit 4 as preparing for the job. Block 2 is titled as preparing for job interviews. Learners who would wish to enter the world of business at the end of this course would definitely benefit it. In order to present yourself successfully, you need to be able to use your nonverbal communication skills, that is the body language, quite effectively. Build up your portfolio, write a very impressive CV, your biodata, and be confident at the interview, group discussions, and various other activities which are often a part of interview process these days. So accordingly, our units, they cover all these areas. Unit 5 is titled as Using Body Language Effectively. Unit 6 as Portfolio Making. Unit 7 as Writing Your Curriculum vitae. Unit 8 as Preparing to Face an Interview. So all these units will equip the learners, if they really study them well, for facing a good interview. Our block 3 is titled as Skills for the Workplace, Part 1. This focuses on 2 important aspects of the workplace: understanding the cross-cultural interaction in business context and learning about customer and customer service. It also discusses the importance of work ethics, and therefore the units have been titled as Unit 9, Etiquette, Cultural Awareness and Gender Perceptions. Unit 10 and Unit 11, they deal collectively with understanding customers and customer service. And Unit 12 has been titled as Work Ethics. Learners, businesses are no longer localized entities, but they're part of a global village. It is therefore very, very essential to understand what exactly is the etiquette which is required at the workplace. Moreover, since there are people coming from multiple cultures, it is very important to be sensitized to different cultures and also to one another. The most important aspect of the business is the service to the customer, as we all understand. So if the customers are happy, the business prospers. In this particular blog, we have dealt with different kind of customers and also how to build an understanding and build a rapport with different kind of customers, how to handle their complaints with a lot of sympathy and empathy, sensitivity. And therefore, in this particular blog, we try to make you understand that we need to retain certain old customers as well, and also there is a need that new customers also join the workplace. So therefore, the final unit of this blog is titled as Work Ethics. Eventually, in whatever we do, we must be really very honest and very upright and committed to the purpose and the goal for which we have joined that particular workplace. Block 4 has been titled as the skills required for the workplace, part 2. So this is the last block of this course, which focuses on various different kind of essential linguistics life skills which are required at the workplace, such as, when you participate in group discussions, when you're asked to make a presentations, or when you write different kind of business letters, or when you write different kind of emails. So therefore, the units, they have been titled accordingly as participating in discussion. The other unit has been titled as making presentations. The other unit has been titled as writing business letters, and the last unit of this particular blog has been titled as writing business emails. Now today we'll focus on the first unit of this blog, which is block 1, that is profiling oneself for the job in quite a detail. Now, this unit, which is titled as profiling for the job, it's going to help you in multiple ways. It's going to help you to identify different kind of skills that you require when you join a new workplace. When you join a new workplace, you need different kinds of people. There's a different environment, you need to understand the vibes of this new particular workplace. So there is a set of verbal communication which is required. There's a set of non-verbal communication which is equally important, rather sometimes more important, which is required at the workplace. So it is very important that you have a certain model, a benchmark, as in how to behave when you join this any new particular workplace. So you should really have a good idea of the kind of qualities and the manners, the etiquettes which are required, and for that you need to study certain biographical sketches of people who are really successful in business fields, in sports field, could be in any of the fields according to your choice. Study them, read them, listen them, and of course then you make a collection of the words, so that suits your vocabulary, that you think that you require to build up in your own self-grooming, and similar kind of exercises before you self-profile yourself. And then later on you have this, then you can develop the confidence of profiling others, so that all these helps you in communication skills. So therefore, this particular unit, it's going to help you to identify the qualities and skills which are required at the workplace, as we just said, and it's going to guide you to write a profile of yourself on the basis of leaders in the world of business and other spheres. Now, there are different contexts that we have given, as part of the activity in this particular unit, and it is through these different kind of skills. As we all know that we need to be very adept in reading, through with time, and in writing, listening, and in speaking, when it comes to covering all these topics. So all these different activities are going to build up the adequate confidence that you require at any new workplace or environment that you have joined, your institutions or your organizations. So the more you practice all these skills, and the better confident you are, and the better communication skills thereby flow on. So, and we really hope that the moment we are going forward, you keep enjoying this lecture. And also, this is an important thing to share with you, that this entire e-content, of this particular course, it has been uploaded on our e-Gyan course. And also to add to it, that it is also available on Swayam also as a standalone course. So anyone who's interested in joining this course can also join on Swayam. Very important thing that I would like to share with my learners, like learners have very preliminary questions, saying that how do they speak in English? Because they keep thinking in Hindi, and so it's a big problem for them. So what you can begin is by thinking in English. Slowly and gradually practice more and more about it. And when you think in Hindi and when you try to speak in English by translating that in mind, so there is a big problem out there. So try to think in English all through. It is very difficult, yes, to begin with, but you would kind of pick it up. So practice, and do not worry about the mistakes, because that shows that you are in a process of learning. And yes, when you do translate, it is a very slow process, and entire focus actually gets onto the process of translating and not on the joy of communicating. So it is important to think in English. Start thinking, and slowly and gradually this entire exercise of translating will kind of diminish, and your natural flow concerning the language will come out. Now, in this particular unit, we have certain objectives which we are trying to fulfill, which is that it is important to begin with to read a profile of a successful person, and to understand the qualities required at the workplace, because a person who inspires you would definitely, all those qualities which you think have inspired you, which you would definitely want to have at least most of those qualities, and also you would try to imbibe the vocabulary, which is representing that very quality that has evoked your interest, in that particular personality. So that's one way of relating you to the language. So therefore, very important to read the profiles of people who inspire you. And also, while you do so, it is very important to get together the vocabulary which is related to such people, and such kind of a vocabulary could relate to the personal qualities, the social qualities, the professional qualities, and make a kind of collective summary of everything, of all these qualities. And then to move on, there would be a time when you could write a self-profile of yourself. And so that's another objective of this particular units. Also, at the same time, when you do all that, it would be interesting to understand the different kind of language structures which are required for asking questions, from asking questions to your colleagues, and also then answering, questions, put up by your colleagues for you at the workplace. So very interestingly, we've come across certain activities so that you also understand the grammar of the language behind these, and also very important, in how to behave when you go to a new office or a workplace. At the same time, when you move on from the personality which you like the most, you listen, you read about them, then you start kind of writing about your own self. It becomes very easy. And then after that, you can also write about others. So that's how an interesting journey, of listening, reading, and then writing, and then also speaking can happen, So there is a conversation, like between two friends that go on like this. Salman says, final year of college is almost getting over. I'm so confused about life. I don't know what kind of job I want. What about you? Amir: I know that I want a job with a decent salary. Salman: but you must be having some job objectives. Amir: my objectives are very simple. I want security of service and an opportunity to do well in life. And then Salman says, but everyone tells me one should have long-term as well as short-term goals. Have you thought about that? So these kind of conversations, we've heard friends doing these kind of deliberations on the kind of move that one should make of career. So when you have good communication skills, you can express what you feel with different kind of friends and get their opinions about it. And also at the same time, a lot of confusion is there, so it's very important to get out of these confusions, and confoundments as soon as possible. So the richer your communication skills are, so the better it is, so that the other side understands your problems and also gives you due advice. And therefore we say that communication is life. Communication is the lifeblood. Communication is like the organic blood that runs inside the human body. So as blood is very important, the health of the human body is very important. Similarly, for keeping the health of our work culture, work environment very healthy, it is very important to maintain very good communication skills. And so therefore this particular course of ours would be really beneficial if you do it with the right spirit, with the right intention, and I'm sure you will come through, you'll come out with really flying colors. Here let us read a profile of a very, very successful person. Now here is a profile for you, comprehensive profile, and then there is the activity which is going to follow for you learners. So you must have heard of William Gates, chairman of Microsoft Corporation, who's among the world's richest people. Now William Gates is the principal founder of Microsoft Corporation, the worldwide leader in software, services, and solutions that people and businesses realize their full potential. It's an exercise, learner, so you must listen and read this comprehension carefully. You would enjoy it. On June 15, 2006, Microsoft announced Gates will move out of a day-to-day role in the company and spend more time on his global health and education work at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. After July 2008, Gates served as Microsoft's chairman till February 2014. Subsequently, he took on the post of technology advisor to support the newly appointed CEO. Born on October 28, 1955, Gates grew up in Seattle with his two sisters. Their father, William Gates, is a Seattle attorney, and their late mother, Mary Gates was a school teacher, University of Washington, regent and chairwoman of United Way International. Gates attended a public elementary school and private lakeside school. There he discovered his interest in software and began programming computers at the young age of 13. In 1973, Gates entered Harvard University as a freshman. While at Harvard, Gates developed a version of the programming language BASIC for the first microcomputers. We know quite a thing, about all this. But since this is an activity for the learners, so here we need to read through what is given in the comprehension and very carefully. And also when you read the comprehension, it should not be just a dry reading. Learn to be active readers and active listeners also. And if you do that, then active writing and active speaking will definitely follow. So when you read this comprehension, even while I'm reading it, and you're listening it and also reading it simultaneously, make points of some important words or any interesting phrase, that you come across while I'm going through the comprehension. Yes, that's your task as a learner. Now, in his junior days, Gates left Harvard to devote his energies to Microsoft, a company he had begun in 1975 with his childhood friend Paul Allen. Guided by a belief that the computer would be a valuable tool on every office desktop and in every home, they began developing software for personal computers. Gates' foresight and his vision for personal computing have been central to the success of Microsoft and the software industry. Under Gates' leadership, Microsoft's mission has been to continually advance and improve software technology and to make it easier, more cost-effective, and more enjoyable for people to use computers. The company is committed to a long-term view reflected in its investment of approximately $6.2 billion on research and development in the 2005 fiscal year. Now, he also wrote Business at the Speed of Thought, a book that shows how computer technology can solve business problems in fundamentally new ways. It was published in 25 languages and is now available in more than 60 countries. Now, Business at the Speed of Thought has received wide critical acclaim, and it was listed on the bestsellers list of the New York Times, USA Today, the Wall Street Journal, and also Amazon.com. Gates' previous book, The Road Ahead, which was published in 1995, held the number 1 spot on the New York Times bestseller list for 7 weeks. Now, it's quite an inspiring the way he had handled his life and his career, and he's donated the proceeds of this particular book to NGOs that support profiling oneself for the job, the use of technology in education and skills development. Now, in addition to this love of computers and software, Gates founded Corbis, which is developing one of the world's largest resources of visual information, a comprehensive digital archive of art and photography from public and private collections around the globe. Philanthropy is also important to him. He and his wife has endowed a foundation with more than $28.8 billion to support philanthropic initiatives in health, in learning, with the hope that in the 21st century, advances in these critical areas will be available for all people. Now he is married, he has 3 children, he is an avid reader, and he enjoys golf and bridge. So now when you go through this comprehensive comprehension, then you look at the kind of words which have been used, to describe the phenomenal journey that he had. And so we've kind of collected the words from this particular comprehension and see what is the picture like. So these are all jumbled words, right? So you came across leadership, revenue, software programming, internet, then access, then visionary, basic, fiscal year, philanthropic, chairperson, organization, foresight, cost effective, personal computer, language, Microsoft, global company. And then the task for you is that you can kind of categorize this according to his personal qualities, social qualities, qualities related with commerce and business. So lot of interesting work you can do after these kind of activities. And also when you go to a workplace, you need various other kinds of personal, social, professional qualities also, and we've made this collectively, this entire square, which contains all that. You have words like team leader, soft spoken, words like discipline, friendly, then hardworking, creative, punctual, motivator, open-minded, receptive to new ideas, helpful, persuasive, your words like leadership, your words like dedicated, your words like able to meet the deadlines, and inspiring, ability to empathize, conflict resolution. So from the list above, which are the qualities that you think are very important that for you to imbibe, and also answer for yourself, why is that? And then you can go through the profiles of other important and famous personalities, like very recently Manu Bakir, she's an Olympic medalist and Indian professional shooter. Now we have also included an audio clip here, of PV Sindhu. She has spoken on TED Talks, and we have also included an audio of Kiran Majumdar Shaw, who's a Indian entrepreneur and founder of the very famous Biocon. And therefore, after this exercise of reading and listening to all this, you can come on to the speaking exercise, and that's going to be really more confident, after you go through all this. And here you are in a position to speak about yourself. But before that, have some hints of what you're going to speak, note down. For example, you can write your full name, your age and everything, and telling about your educational backgrounds, your mission, purpose in life, and also your any special achievements, which you think are there, and other personality traits, right? Along when you do all this, there's a bit of grammar exercise also that we have, as in when you talk to your colleagues, it's going to be in a form of making questions, so there are different ways that we provided here, different examples, of putting questions also, various examples, like you can see on the PPT slides, different kind of questions. You have do and does questions, WH questions, and your questions, starting from is it, so and so now is a time that you can switch on to a writing exercise, which is now you can sit and write the profiles, of the people that you like, your one person, any person in your college or the workplace you would want to write profile of, but before that, make small hints as in who this particular person is and what work he or she does, and their professional and personal qualities, and what makes them different from the others, and what are their future plans. So all these things, make a noting of all that. Certain there are other successful figures like Narayan Murthy. So for them also, if you want to write about them, make small hints about their particular life career. For example, he's an icon of India and the kind of wonderful work that he's done, right? So here's the time to sum up. So therefore, in order to be successful, we need to be prepared to speak and write about ourselves and also about others. We need to, we can introduce this way with confidence, to others, and we can be well prepared to meet new people, meet new challenges, and this is going to go a long way in enabling us, to adjust ourselves and perform successfully in a new job. So you've read about different kind of personalities. You've also got the exercise of writing a self-profile of yourself along with your friends, So all the particular units in this particular block and other blocks also will give you ample practice in speaking, writing, reading and listening, and each has a vocabulary section, a grammar section in order to help you to enhance your English language competence. And if you diligently work through a material, definitely your communication skills are going to improve. And therefore, with these words, all the best. Do well. Thank you so much.
पत्रकारिता या जनसंचार के क्षेत्र में आपकी रुचि है तो आपके